Hey, Chadi, Bazzi here, and welcome to another episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. Today we have a special guest by the name of Jennifer Seeno Tucker. Did I get that right?
That's perfect, Chadi. Yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, Jennifer, welcome. Thank you for being on with us. I know you are an author of a book. You're an active real estate agent. You train agents from all over the country. And we're just going to have a good discussion today and see what it is that we can do to help the people in this industry that we love so much. Sounds good?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm honored to be on your podcast here. It's going to be a blast to have a conversation with you. So let's make it happen.
Perfect. So let's begin by you giving us like in 60 seconds or less, tell us why you are so awesome.
Oh gosh, I get to brag. I am so awesome, I think, because I really have an innate ability to really meet people where they're at, which I don't think a lot of people understand how to do that. It's not all about me in essence. It's really about the person in front of me and how I can honestly serve them in my industry. So that what I think that kind of makes me awesome and a little bit different than everyone else. I don't look at this as just kind of a job or a career. It really is my life and my lifestyle, and I'm definitely full-fledged into it. And it's really what I eat, sleep, and drink at this time.
Love it. Well, sounds to me like it's a lot of passion. Maybe that's something that we can begin to talk about because, I see there's a lot of people that come into this industry, primarily for the money. They're not really passionate about the industry. They just want to make money. And then they discover that they might not make money. And I know you work with a lot of people that are trying to get to the $100,000 mark and beyond. What do you got to say? I mean, how important is it to be passionate about what you do?
I mean, totally. It's really our reason why we do what we do. I thought I went into real estate just to make the money, kind of like with everyone else, but I really discovered that passion about it. And I'm an eternal student, and I love doing research too. And that's kind of what really kept me in the industry and what has propelled me to teach others about, how to really have this authentic presence as well as this passion about everything that you do. You need to be talking about it in every networking event or situation that you're in, friends, family, and any sphere of influence that you might have, clubs and otherwise that we engage socially in. So yeah, I mean, it's important, and I teach my agents to utilize their background and what they have already done in the past to really propel them to move forward.
Got it. So Jennifer, how long you been in the real estate industry?
Yeah, I've been in the industry. This is now my 9th year, going on my 9th year, but my mom's been in the industry over 30. So I've been listening to it for an extremely long time. So I didn't realize I wanted to get into it until the situation presented itself where I was a single mom really struggling to kind of put macaroni and cheese on the table at the time, and figured that I could utilize real estate to kind of put chicken and steak on the table. And that's ultimately what it did. So yeah, I've been listening to it for a very long time.
And what I love about my show, I know it's biased. Yeah, I love my show is it's totally, non-scripted. And, I listen very intently to everything you say, and I touch on the things that I feel are very important for our audience. See, Jennifer, I've personally been on over 30,000 one-on-one coaching calls myself with agents from all over the country. So I've heard everything underneath the moon and the stars. And there's always like a theme and a specific kind of person that comes to work with me, et cetera. And I'll tell you, over the course of the last 20 years, I've worked with a lot of single moms, okay? And, as a single mom, just the title single mom is 2 full-time jobs by itself. Okay.
Absolutely. For sure.
And then, you put a real estate career, that's like 2 full-time jobs on top of that. So it's like you're operating 4 full-time jobs. Can we speak to the single moms out there a little bit? I mean, obviously you made it, and there's a single mom out there or one that's about to become a single mom or even a single dad. What kind of advice would you give them? Because they have to make sure the kids are fed, they're sheltered, they're clothed, they're emotionally okay. The finances are in order to meet their specific needs. So it's a lot of stress and a lot of emotion from every single aspect. And a lot of them get to that point to where they're like, they want to give up. They just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Can you speak to the
Yeah.
single mom a little bit, please?
Yeah, I think those single parent or solo parents really already have the skills and tools that they need to survive in real estate. We're really, at least in my opinion, put on this kind of survival kind of mode when you're a solo parent, and you really find the means to do what you have to do, no matter what it takes. I definitely have compassion for those parents out there. I mean, because it is difficult. It was difficult for me too. I did have a somewhat supporting family as well, and it was still difficult at the time. But I think to take the skills that you learn from single parenting and then bring them into real estate, because you're going to be able to attract those clients who are exactly like you as well. So utilizing your background again is so important, in real estate as well, to really kind of, like I said, to move forward. I think the one thing of advice that I would give those solo parents who are looking to break into real estate, I think it's a wonderful career for a solo parent as well, because it does give you the flexibility and time, right? We can be in the office from 10 in the morning till 2, pick the kids up, and then maybe have an appointment afterwards where the babysitter or family member may watch the kids for an hour or two. So yeah, you absolutely have the time, but it becomes about the block planning and the structure and and that you create in order to have a great schedule that meets the needs of yourself, your business, and your family.
Right. You know what, Jennifer, a lot of people don't really notice. I don't think I've talked about this publicly a lot, but when I was building my real estate business, I did it as a single father, of,
Mm.
of which the majority of the time, my son was, I think, about 4 or 5 years old at that time. He was with me the majority of the time. And I think the greatest lesson that gave me, I say it's a lesson and a gift, is time management. It
Yeah, for
made me
sure.
and master a time management, because I knew I had to drop them off at a specific time. I had to pick them up at a specific time, and I had to make every minute count for 2 minutes. And the football practice, the school conferences, and all that stuff. And there were times where I would set an appointment and I did not have anyone to watch him, and I would
Mm.
take him with me on a listing appointment. So for
All
those
the
of
time.
yeah. So, for the people that are like, but I ain't got nobody to watch my kids. I think on purpose I began to take them with me on listing appointments, because they just love the kid and they see you, as a family person. And I'm sure I've gotten listings that I would have never gotten as a result of taking them with me on listing appointments.
I think that children also become very disciplined to sit there and pay attention, and it also creates their own entrepreneurial kind of spirit to do their own thing and have a passion about it too. So I wasn't afraid to take my daughter on open houses, like you said, like similar to yours, listing appointments with buyers. I mean, it actually was a pleasure, and now she speaks the language herself. And I keep driving her into, she's 14 now, into like, you're going to go into business, you're going to go into business. I'm not going into real estate, it's not happening, but I can see parts of her that really want to do her own thing, make her hobbies her own thing and her own business. So for that, I think there's definitely some lessons to be learned. And I wasn't afraid to do it either. I'm very similar to your situation.
Love it. Okay, so Jennifer, in your book, okay, and the title of your book is Rockstar Real Estate Agent. Okay,
Mhm.
everybody wants to be a rock star. Okay, what is it? What is it really? I'm going to back up a little bit. I know in your book, there's a huge focus to teach people how to get to the 6-figure mark, how to make $100,000 or more.
Right.
Is everything in your book also relevant for somebody that may already be at 6 figures and wants to add another $100,000 to their income?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've definitely tripled my initial income of that 100K at this point, but my systems are all the same. I'm just doing it more and more. There are ways now for me that I need to leverage people a little bit more, and give duties out to others, and I have a transaction coordinator as well as a part-time assistant too. Yet I'm still utilizing the same systems. For sure, I think anyone can read the book and use it as a platform for them to kind of catapult their career into that, more than 100K for sure.
Good. So let's talk to two different kind of agents. We're going to first talk to the agent that's not at $100,000 already and wants to get to the $100,000. What is the single most important piece of advice you'd give that person?
I think we already kind of talked about it. And I think that's block planning and scheduling your time. Everything really needs to be crafted out and written out. I think that's one of the most important steps and the primary step. Second of all, again, it's just utilizing your personality and who you are to meet those clients where they're at and to attract like-minded people who want to work with you. The third thing I think would be, really utilizing your sphere of influence to start your career and get those listings and buyers, in your pocket so that you're able to move forward too.
Got it. And Jennifer, for the person that doesn't have a large center of influence, like some people out there just got, a center of influence of maybe 40 or 50 people, what do we say to that person?
I think that's a good start, to be honest with you, 40 or 50 people. I'm working with a girl right now who comes from the hospitality business. So she doesn't really have a small, very small family and network, but we're able to kind of utilize her passion for animals as a way for her and her socialization for her to capture those kind of people that she's going to attract, right? So it's not necessarily about the people that you do business with, or have done with in the past. It could be a social network as well. I've also worked with moms who were just, the PTA president, and that's also another social thing that you could leverage yourself in your business. How do we keep growing? I think there becomes, a way for you to farming, because in the beginning we don't have a lot of marketing money, right, Chadi? So we have to find a way to leverage our time for money. I know right now during our little pandemic time, it can be difficult for people to door knock or even cold call at this time. For me, I've been farming a specific area and stayed in those 500 homes for the last 8 years, and that's where a lot of my business comes from now.
Beautiful. Okay, so and if I could add to that, one of the things that I would say is that your center of influence isn't always as small as you think it is.
Yeah.
For example, people say, well, it's 40, 50 people. And I'm like, how many friends do you have on Facebook? 500? Then your center of influence is 500. It's like, you're friends with these people for a reason. They're interested in you for a reason. You're interested in them for a reason. You just got to go out there and you got to be known. You got to, feel comfortable about letting people know what you do, what you're passionate about, and how you serve those people. And even if you're not like in direct contact with all these people, if you're constantly, providing valuable information, they will take notice. And
yeah, for sure. If we're able to educate those people who are, friends of friends, I think that's definitely a value that you're giving people out there.
Got it. Okay, so you said time blocking and lead generation. Okay, that's the two things that I heard you say for the agent. What would an ideal schedule look like for somebody? I know I ask all the hard questions, right?
You really do. They're kind of tough. I can only tell you what really worked for me. I work with a lot of part-time agents, and I tell them if they're not, at least in the office or out in the field working 10 to 12 hours on a Saturday, then it really doesn't make any sense for them to kind of be in the business. But I think an ideal schedule for me, I can tell you what my schedule looks like. I mean, I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I spend an hour focusing on me and my personal growth. So that really has helped me a lot. Then I'm typically taking care of the family, get them off to school, and then I prospect in the morning from 9 to 11. That's just my system that kind of works for me. I mean, if you prospect in the afternoon, that seems best, but I'm better in the morning. I get a lot more done. That's why I choose to prospect. I've also just set up a time where I return calls, which is later in the afternoon, probably while I'm taking lunch. And then I usually set my appointments after 1 o'clock. I'm home with family, and then I do follow-up calls from 7 to 8:30 at night. I mean, so that's my schedule.
That was like so simple. And I mean, the way I look at it is like, that's common sense, and common sense is not common practice. That's exactly what I share with my clients. We split the day into 3 parts. Okay. Yep. part number one, I call get in the zone. And you're doing that every single morning. You're waking up early, you're working on your mind, your body and spirit. Part number two is build the business. And you're doing that from 9-11. You said, I think 9-11 every single day.
Yep.
That's for building the business. And block number three is, service the business. That's where you do your follow-up, admin, and go on appointments.
Exactly.
It really is simple. Why do you think people have such a hard time sticking to such a schedule?
Oh gosh, I think it's all that mindset thing where they don't think, I think it's kind of fear of failure. Like if I don't do this at this time or something unexpectedly comes up, I think people just really, agents really just beat themselves up over it. And it's really not that big of a deal. It's like, to me, it's like, just get over it, move on. It's not, world's crushing over here. Let's just move forward is really my motto. Let's move forward and let's make it happen.
Right. You said the keyword mindset. I think mindset is everything because it doesn't matter what tools you have, what resources you have, what skills you have, what opportunities you have, because we all have an equal opportunity in every single marketplace. That's what it boils down to, the mindset. And I think, a lot of people, even the people that have fears, etc., it's simply because a lack of belief in their ability to go out there and make things happen. Okay. When you have that strong belief in yourself, all of a sudden you don't think about the action, you're just in action. Okay.
Right, for sure.
So what is like maybe one thing, like, is there, part of like your morning routine, is there a daily practice that's non-negotiable for you every single day that just puts your mind on
that 1 hour in the morning, I do 20 minutes of physical exercise. I do a little stretching and walk the dog. And then what I do is journal for 20 minutes, as well as do some affirmations and meditation. So that's non-negotiable. My morning is really the non-negotiable part. And it's really the time that I honor and cherish, because it is when no one else is awake. So it is my kind of time to, like you said, get in the zone. And whether that's a day of family practice or work, either way, the 5:30 is really not negotiable. Some Sundays here and there, but that's really what kind of sets my day.
Good. So, you're connecting with yourself, you're getting yourself centered through meditation, you're pumping yourself up and, working on your belief system by doing the affirmations. And then, that puts things in motion. And I know it sounds difficult for some people. It sounds simple for some people. And a challenge that I always have, I challenge the people I work with and I'll say, all right, so I know we make it sound simple to the point to where it's like, oh, it's too simple. It can't really move the needle that far in the right direction. And I say to someone that's watching this or listening to this, what if we're right and you're wrong? Why don't you just take it down for 30 days and see what happens in 30 days?
I think people are afraid of the word meditation a lot. I have to be honest. I think I was one of those people because I'm not this woo woo, kind of girl, I'm really this big, bold, dominant personality. And for people to think that I'm meditating, I don't think, fits my mold. But I don't think meditation or getting in the right mindset needs to be what people imagine meditation to be. Sitting on a carpet with your knees folded in your hands, in a position, that expresses meditation. I think, if we introduce more of a modern meditation, that to agents, then they would be a little bit more acceptable to it. For me, it was just the affirmations in the beginning where, I needed, had a lot of doubt and fear initially, where it was just, these kind of I am statements that really kind of made me realize that things started to change and happen for me. And I didn't realize what it was initially, but that's ultimately what it was, this affirming. And now I instill it with my kids as well. Like we have, for just 5 affirmations for them that they set up so that they're able to read it before they go to school, before they play a sports game, whatever it might be. So the affirming was key for me as well.
I have to say that I am personally a product of my affirmations. you know. And I know that, sometimes it's kind of corny, like when you look in the mirror and you just say to yourself, like, I am powerful. And it's like in the back of your mind, there's a voice that says, come on, man, who you messing with? You know what I mean? But here's the thing, and what I learned from my mentors is that every liar eventually begins to believe their lies.
Mm.
So what if you lied to yourself every single day and you told yourself you're good enough, you're powerful enough, you're courageous, and you actually began to believe that lie?
Right, right. I think the ego constantly wants to kind of eat at us, with these negative belief systems. I think even if we don't believe I am powerful, I am worthy, I am an asset, if we don't initially believe it, I think just repeating it over and over, like you said, we begin to trick the mind into what is actually happening.
Right. And for those people that may be thinking, it's affirmations, what you want to consider is that you are affirming things all day, every single day. You're just doing the wrong affirmations. It's like somebody that wakes up and says, oh, what a lousy day. I mean, how could your experience be good when you already affirmed that it's going to be freaking damn lousy? You're much more powerful than you know you are. And you're creating your reality every single day by the conversations, not so much just by the conversations you're having with other people, but the conversation that you're having with yourself in your head. So I would challenge every single person that's watching this video, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, just comment, what is your number one affirmation right below that video, and tag Jennifer and me in it so we could applaud you, support you, and help you buy into that. Love it. Love it. All right. So now let's talk to the agent that's already at $100,000 and they want to add another $100,000 or $200,000 to their current production. What is your number one single best advice to that person?
Treat yourself as if you are the CEO of a business. A lot of times as agents, our business becomes very reactive, right? We're at 100K, our phone's ringing, people are calling us for listing appointments, buyers are calling us to see houses, and we're constantly picking up the phone. The shift to treat yourself like a business wherein you have some type of administration and system set in place so you're not a reactive agent really makes the most sense in order for them to grow even more and more. We can't do everything, right? And so we need to utilize people and systems in order to make that happen.
Good. So treat yourself as the CEO of your company. Operate your business like a business and make business decisions based on business, not based on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, once that change and shift happened for me, it was like everything just started to grow. There was definitely a little bit of a low time, but I saw that I was able to catch up, right? So I hired an assistant, and things slowed down a little because I had to train the assistant and be with her and spend some time with her. Things slowed, but they automatically peaked and picked up very quickly after that.
Love it. Okay, Jennifer, we talked about mindset. Okay, we talked a little bit about lead generation. Let's talk about skills a little bit. Okay, I think there's a lot of people that say, I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't like the term salesperson. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be someone else. What is the most important skill that one must master in order for them to generate more leads and close more appointments into contracts?
I didn't want to be a salesperson either. I had this, now, kind of thing where I thought salespeople, were just really pushy and just told me what to do and what to buy and where to go. So I didn't want to be that salesperson either, but I realized that it wasn't the sales at all. It really was the psychology of sales that made the most sense. So what I did, I was able to study the DISC personality profiling and really became a good student in it. Like I said, I'm a DC personality, a dominant and cautious personality, and I attract those people who are most like me. But in order for me to grow my business, I had to be more like the other two personalities as well. So I needed to study who those people were and realize that if I became a chameleon and change my personality to meet those people, then I would, yeah, be even driving more business to me. And that's ultimately what it was. Hiring a coach to kind of help me with that was definitely the way to go as well.
All right. So we're talking about, really understanding, people, human psychology and all that good stuff. So you could adapt to other personalities and put yourself in their shoes in terms of how they think, how they process decisions, how they make, how they process information and how they make decisions, which I think it gives you the ability to alter and shift your presentation and in your approach to fit them, which that's what we began to talk about at the beginning of the show.
Right.
Is how do you fit to as many different kind of people as you possibly can.
Yep.
So I am a chameleon. I love that. I am a chameleon.
Yeah, I'm a chameleon. You have to be in the industry, right? Because we come across so many different people and so many different personality types. I speak very fast and with my hands, right? So I'm going to mirror. We know that if we mirror and copy, that's also going to be a good sign as well that we're going to attract that client. Okay. But I also can slow myself down and really go with the pace of a buyer who may be cautious in the way that they buy as well. So that's the chameleon that I'm speaking of. Absolutely. It's so key. And I love watching new agents try it and maybe not be successful in the beginning, but at least they try. I mean, it's actually really fun to kind of do.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. So study the psychology of selling. Is there a book that you recommend besides your book? Because we're going to recommend your book anyways on selling and learning personality, style selling, etc.
I'm a huge studier of Sandler and the Sandler Institute. So I can't remember the exact name of the book, but it's like something like Ride My Bicycle. And I can't remember the name of it. I'm really horrible at remembering that. The other one is where Dr. Angela Lauria, Make Them Beg to Be Your Client. Her love sales method was really key for me as well. In the way that she teaches, again, the personality profiling and really not the selling, right? Because I'm not a salesy seller, but her love sales method was really, really fun to read.
Well, I gotta check that one out. I'm already like loving the title. Make them beg to be your client.
Yes.
Yeah, beg me, baby. That's so awesome. All right, so I'm definitely gonna check that book out. We've actually had someone from the Sandler selling system on the show here previously. I'll go ahead and link the episode in the show notes for people that want to check that out as well too. Awesome. What else? What should I have asked you that I didn't ask you that you want to answer and speak about?
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. I don't know if you didn't ask anything, but no, everything I feel has really been answered. Just that, I just love this business and I just want to be able, the book was really a way for me to help more and more agents out there. We saw, how 8 out of 10 agents were leaving our office because we didn't have a training system in place. And once we put this training system in place, that's really how our brokerage grew. And that was really the premise of the book as well, to kind of just get this training system out to the masses so that everyone can kind of, agents can help themselves and brokers can also help their brokerage as well. Just Chadi, I'd love to give everyone who's listening a download for free on my book, Become a Rockstar Real Estate Agent. It's they can go to rockstaragenttraining.com and download the book for free there.
Good. I'll be sure to go ahead and put a link in the show notes. So that's rockstaragenttraining.com.
That's it.
And what is going to be, let's say, so someone out there is going to be like, I'll, they're listening to this in their car or at the gym, etc. And they're like, oh, I'll get back to it later. Why should they make sure they don't forget and get back to it later? What is one big takeaway that they're going to get from the book?
The big takeaway that they're going to get is that no matter where I am in my real estate career, no matter what system I'm using or what brokerage I'm with, I'm still capable of earning the money that I deserve to make.
Good. So if you want to get to the six-figure mark or beyond, or if you want to add another six-figure to your real estate business, then make sure you go to rockstaragenttraining.com, download the book, follow Jennifer on Facebook, and then are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram too. J. Seeno Tucker.
Got it. So we'll make sure we link you up on Instagram as well too. And any final words of wisdom?
No, just again, thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show. And I hope all your agents out there make things happen each and every day.
Got it. That was so awesome, Jennifer. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you, and we would like to have you on the show sometime again in the near future. Keep on rocking, you rock star.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Take care.